Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the first year we've been able to do this in 3 years. I am so thankful and so touched to see so many friends, and just welcome all of you for coming tonight. I'm Paul Kim. I am the Vice President here of this organization, and I was asked to welcome everyone to the event. About 25 years ago, this organization was founded. Its first meeting was, I believe, in Sonny's basement. And I think we have come a long way. This is a spectacular venue. I'm very thankful we're all here, have so many friends here. It's really a testimony and testament to the mission of the organization and its people. And so I wanted to introduce our MC for the evening, which is Kevin Kim. I'll have him take the stage now.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Kim. A lot of you may say, who is that guy? And some of you say, why that guy again? So let me briefly introduce myself in 15 seconds. I'm an immigrant from South Korea, and I came here when I was 30 with a little ability to speak English. And I used to be a Korean radio talk show host many years, and then now currently estate planning attorney. And amazingly, I'm a proud American, and importantly, I'm your MC tonight. Yeah! 14 seconds, well done. So now all of you know a little bit about me. I have to tell you that I'm very honored to be part of this wonderful event. On behalf of American Korean Friendship Society, I want to thank every single one of you taking your time and coming over to join our celebration of the American Korean Friendship Society's National American Hero Award. As Paul said earlier, the Korean American Society is a non-profit, non-political, and civil organization founded in 1996 in the basement of a gentleman that I'm going to introduce later. Its primary mission is to remind everybody how unique and special relationship we have between the peoples of the Republic of Korea and the United States of America. And for this particular dinner, we are here to recognize and honor those who have made an extraordinary contribution to this country. And we are so proud of them, and we want to show our respect by calling them our heroes. In fact, we are twice as privileged tonight because we have not just one recipient, but two recipients of the Hero Awards because of the COVID cancellation 2020. So we are lucky to have both heroes right here. And by the way, one hero recipient is one of the funniest men in America, and the other recipient is one of the most intelligent men in America, and both gentlemen have three things in common. Very, very smart, Korean, and almost as good looking as I am. You're so kind, thank you very much. But importantly, we're gonna meet also the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award, who as an immigrant has made a tremendous amount of sacrifice and contribution to our community over the years. And especially tonight, you're gonna meet one of the great leaders in America, having a wonderful, lasting impact on our society for decades, the living legend, civil rights movement icon, Atlanta mayor, the U.S. ambassador to the UN, the Honorable Andrew Young will be tonight's keynote speaker. We also have many distinguished guests and leaders in our society making this dinner more meaningful. So I believe that tonight's banquet will be full of inspiration and encouragement, as well as some good laughs toward the end of the event and some beautiful music during your dinner. So without further ado, I think we're ready to get started with the invocation. So tonight we are honored to have Mr. Norman Board. He is the president of the Ray Davis Chapter Korean War Veterans Association. And as you all know, without their sacrifice, a lot of us here may not be here tonight. So please welcome Mr. Norman Board for the invocation. And ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
Down and see all of these people that we are honoring. I would just say that in this invocation, I would like for all us to bow our head and thank the Lord for what a wonderful world we live in, what a wonderful country we have, what a wonderful relationship we have with Korea. And I have so many Korean friends that have been so helpful to us. And I would also like to thank and honor our speaker, Andrew Young. He has lived an exceptional life, and we should honor him with all we know. We have so many people here that I would like to honor, and it's no way that I can possibly do it. But just, I want to thank every one of you for coming. Thank you for the contributions that you have made to this world. And it has been a wonderful experience. I spent 13 months in Korea in the very early part in the Chosin Reservoir. I got there in November of 1950, and it was an experience. I was 18. I would like to thank Sunny Park particularly for inviting the group from our chapter, and not only inviting us but paying for it. So with that, let me just say amen, and I'm glad you're all here.
Amen.
And the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Colonel Deborah Ellis.
Ready? Pose.
You have tickets for me?
Ready? See. Ready? Cut. Inward face. One step forward. March. Outward face. Breathe in. Arms.
Colonel Deborah Ellis.
Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Pose. Ready? Cut. Left face. Forward. Arm.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my honor and privilege to welcome to the stage the chairman of the American Korean Friendship Society, Mr. Frank Blake. As many of you know, he's currently the chair of the Delta Airline, and he is, of course, the former chairman and CEO of the Home Depot, and he's one of the most successful businessmen in America. And we are so proud to have him lead our American Korean Friendship Society. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Frank Blake.
Thank you very much, and thank you all for being here this evening. And for those of us who've done a number of these dinners, they keep getting more and more impressive each year. But thank you for spending your time tonight to honor the efforts made by our Korean Americans and those who sacrificed during the Korean War. I'd like to start with a comment about an important day for me this year. I went with Sunny Park to visit the new battery plant, SK battery plant, up in Commerce, Georgia. And the plant's amazing, very, very impressive. But what was great about the day was that Sonny and I got stuck in a traffic jam. And that you wouldn't think was a really good thing to happen, but it was a wonderful thing to happen because I got to spend more time with Sonny Park and hear more about both his childhood in Korea and what he has subsequently done in the United States. We are all here this evening because of Sonny Park's generosity, because of his thoughtfulness, because of the fact that he reaches out and gives a helping hand to others. I don't know exactly what the shape of a well-lived life looks like, but I have a feeling that it's going to be patterned on what Sonny Park has lived in his life, and I would like us all to acknowledge and thank him. Among the things that Sonny's very generous about is I get to be called chairman of this group, and Sonny does literally all of the work. Now, I would like to recognize we have 4 new board members of the American Korean Friendship Society, and I'd like them just to stand and be recognized. Counsel General Yoon Jung Park, Mr. B.J. Park, the former U.S. Attorney of the Georgia Northern District and now attorney at Alston Bird, Mr. Robert Hall, former director of Rotary International, and Dr. Stanley Shin, who is not here, but he's a cardiologist at Statesboro Cardiology. So, thank you all. Congratulations for joining the board. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to comments from our Counsel General. Counsel General Park.
Good evening. The Honorable Ambassador Andrew Young and Mr. Norman Board and Major General Thomas Cardinal and Major General Patrick Donahoe and Dr. Victor Char and Mr. Hanny Cho and Mr. Baek Yu Kim, Mr. Sonny Park, and distinguished guests. First, I would like to thank American Korean Friendship Society's warm welcome. I'm honored to be here with you at this special award dinner. It is meaningful to have this new American Hero Award while the Korea-US relationship have deepened more than ever. Last month, President Biden visited Korea as the first destination of his official trip to East Asia. It was only 10 days after Mr. President Yoon took office, marking the earliest summit of Korean president's term with the United States President. As President Biden said there and then, our alliance has never been stronger, and never been more vibrant, and never been more vital. During the summit, the 2 leaders committed to developing the Korea-US relationships into a global, comprehensive strategic alliance. In a nutshell, 2 leaders agreed to expand our security alliance, which was founded on our shared sacrifice 70 years ago, into the one that encompasses economic security and technology alliance. Furthermore, 2 presidents pledged to bolster cooperation for responding to global challenges based on our shared values, moving toward a global alliance. To translate those commitments into the earliest reality, Seoul and Washington are making the utmost endeavors, as highlighted by Korean Foreign Minister Park Jin. Park Jin's visit Washington, D.C. this week. And after hearing what I have just mentioned, you may wonder what this global comprehensive strategic alliance would mean to Georgia. During and after President Biden's visit to Korea, 2 big events took place in Georgia, which embodied this ever-deepening relationship. First, state government and Hyundai Motor Group announced that the company will open its first fully dedicated electric vehicle and battery manufacturing facility in Georgia. Hyundai Motor Group will invest $5.54 billion, which is now the largest economic development project in Georgia's history. To celebrate this, thank you. To celebrate this, a signing ceremony took place at the Bryan County megasite, which I attended. It was so hot, just like Georgia heated up with great attention from Korean companies. Actually, I was really just welcomed by the Bryan County people, and just I can feel their, how can I say, the cooperation, the spirit of cooperation, just extend over our just the security alliance, and just we are taking care of each other on the economic level, and also just we are looking forward, and we are forging our alliance to the another level that cannot be, imagined. So just I'm a little off script, but just I really happy, and I think I like to see the American people happy about our investment. Just I'm going back to my script. So, in addition, right after the President Biden's visit, Hanwha Q-Cells announced that it will invest $170 million in solar module manufacturing in Dalton, Georgia. This means Hanwha Q-Cells makes up almost 1/3 of solar module manufacturing in the United States. Right before the announcement was made, I visited Hanwha Q-Cells factory in Dalton. Looking around the facility, I became convinced that Korean companies, which are major investors to Georgia, are also playing a big role in sustainable economic growth of Georgia. Distinguished guests, all these achievements are testament to our friendship between Korea and the United States. This is attributable to many people, including today's winners of the award. My sincere congratulations to Dr. Charles and Mr. Joe and Mr. Baek Yu-bin. Let's enjoy the evening of friendship all together. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Consul General. Tonight, we're also privileged to have Major General Thomas Carden join us to give his welcome remarks. He has held the numerous key positions in the U.S. Army and Georgia Army National Guard, and currently serves as the Adjutant General of Georgia. Please welcome Major General Thomas Carden.
Good evening, everyone. I can't tell you what an honor it is to be here among you tonight on behalf of the 15,000 men and women that serve in your National Guard here in Georgia. Thank you for what you do. At a time in our country when you can't turn on a television or listen to a radio, certainly not open the internet without somebody telling you what's wrong with our country. Tonight I get to be in a room full of people that demonstrate what's right about this country. So thank you for what you do. You know, and I know my colleague Pat Donahoe, the Commander General of Fort Benning, will talk about this in more detail. But I'll tell you, our service has never been more globally engaged than it is today. And in fact, the 138 Chemical Company, Georgia Army National Guard, just returned from a 9-month tour in South Korea. And I'll tell you, you can be proud of what the people in South Korea, how they receive our service members and how they treat them. They can't stop talking about what a great experience that it was to serve shoulder to shoulder with the men and women of South Korea. So again, thank you all for allowing us to be here tonight and to be represented. And Mr. Park, thank you for allowing our Youth Challenge Color Guard to be here tonight. You're not only changing lives with respect to this association, you're changing the lives of young people, some more than 18,000 as we speak today, that would not have had an opportunity or a second chance at life if it were not for your leadership. That program wouldn't be what it is today if it were not for you, and I want to publicly thank you for your leadership and your support, sir. Thank you all.
We're also privileged to have Major General Patrick Donahoe, the Commanding General of the U.S. Army Maneuver Center of Excellence. Please welcome Major General Patrick Donahoe.
And distinguished visitors, as you know, Tom and I coordinated this week on our uniforms, so it looking good, Tom. Hey, So Sonny Park asked me recently to come up and talk about the strength of the alliance, and as you all know, you don't tell Sonny no, so here I am. I returned from South Korea just a little short of 2 years ago and spent 2 years there at Camp Humphreys as the Deputy Commanding General of the 8th United States Army, which has served continuously on the Korean Peninsula since 1950. And so that unit now housed at Camp Humphreys. Camp Humphreys is the largest overseas base in the Department of Defense. It was the largest peacetime construction project overseas in the history of the Department of Defense, all in Pyeongtaek in South Korea. And so it was wonderful for us to serve there, and it was also wonderful in the fact that we can bring our families there now. So my 13-year-old daughter, she's a big BTS and Blackpink fan from that 2 years, right? And every picture we do, little Korean hearts. But more importantly is the nature of the alliance on the peninsula today. It is ironclad. The soldiers of the South Korean Army, the Republic of Korea, and the United States serve not only shoulder to shoulder, but in the same units. Like Lieutenant Colonel Choi to stand. Where are you at? Lieutenant Colonel Choi deploys tomorrow with his family to Camp Humphreys, Korea, to join the combined division, the only one in the United States, the combined division, the 2nd Infantry Division, which is combined ROC and US at Camp Humphreys. And Chris leaves Fort Benning en route to be the Chief of Operations of the 2nd Infantry Division, combined division. Thanks, Chris. At Fort Benning, we train more international officers and NCOs than anywhere else in the Department of Defense. The largest number of captains who come to our courses at Fort Benning come from the Republic of Korea. We have a permanent station at Fort Benning of the Korean Army. Lieutenant Colonel Lee, can you please stand? So Lieutenant Colonel Lee is our liaison officer from the Republic of Korea, and so he represents the Army of the ROC at Fort Benning, and he rides herd over the 30 to 40 plus South Korean lieutenants and captains that come in every year to get trained at Fort Benning and form that bedrock of the alliance. And he'll head back home in August to join his family, which has returned recently. And he'll be replaced immediately by another quality lieutenant colonel from the ROC Army. Thanks. So, the alliance is powerful and it's strong. And I come here just to give you that message, that having served alongside our Korean allies on the peninsula, we are in a good state. So thanks, Sonny, thanks for allowing me to come tonight.
So now I need to introduce this special gentleman. I personally known him in the past 15 years, and a lot of things have changed the past 15 years, but there's one thing that has never changed. This gentleman has never stopped impressing and influencing me for the better. His ideas and vision gave birth to the creation of this society, the Friendship Society, and also his enthusiasm about America and his American dream story have touched so many people, including myself, over the years. And he works so hard day in, day out, and I'm surprised that he ever finds the time to sleep. I don't think he sleeps. You may not believe me. Please welcome Mr. Sonny Park.
Thank you, Kevin. I told him I would buy him a lunch. And I will even buy a steak if he does more on his speech, introduce me up better. I tell you what, thank you so much for Kevin. Your services always upgraded our events, and I will never forget that. It's very impressive. Thank you so much. I am supposed to introduce the guests, VIP guests. There's all of you. Each one of you are VIP to me in all of us, especially for the society and the community. So I want to thank you so much for each one of you coming to this event and be a part of the American Korean Friendship Society and the new American Hero Award that we're going to present today. The new American means immigrant. Immigrants is coming here, they move to the United States, and we, especially from the Asia, and we don't look like American, no matter how many generations you live. However, we need to advocate ourselves. I'm American, I'm a patriot. This is what we have to do. And then I'm not complaining. That's what we already knew when we decided to come to the United States. Tell you what, there's no better place than the United States, and I'm here, I'm part of the United States, I'm grateful, and then very proud. There are so many that the group and people, that the individuals that need to recognize other than people in the program. So, make it quick. Everyone is important. Number one, the money count. Money is important. The sponsors is important. So when I call, please stand and give them big applause, but wait until I'm finished. Frank Blake, Lisa and Frank Blake, their chairman of the society, it's been year after year, and the Frank Blake family done a great contribution, made a great contribution to society. Thank you so much. Please stand. And SK Battery Pack, Mr. Timothy John and Steve John from remain stand, please, and SK Battery Pack. So next time you want to buy the car, make sure to buy an electric car with an SK battery in it. So that's a little commercial. And I'd like to ask Dr. Alan Koo and Paul Kim stand, please. They are the Atlanta North Dermatology and Skincare. She's amazing. She's my skin doctor. I had a psoriasis, and it's a heal. It's fine. I mean, she knows what to do. And any ladies that want to be put here, go see her. I tell you, she knows about the skin. So remain standing, please. And a brand new bank, but actually the bank is they're running by the oldest, I think the oldest, the banking family from Georgia, the Brand family. And then the Brand Bank, the former Brand Bank owners, and now own Georgia Banking Company. It's pretty new. It's only 2 years old. However, it is growing like a very. It's like a wild weed. What's that called? The gutsu. It's all over the Gwinnett County. So please, Leslie and Bartol Morgan, please stand. Thank you so much. Thank you. Golden Stella, J-U-N and Stella One. It's been supporting this organization, not only monetary support, but it's been going on with the volunteership. And from the beginning, in 1996, he was a part of it and was still with us. But cannot make it, and I'll share that with you some of the time. But the Stella and the J-U-N could not make it tonight. And Mr. Sam Owens and Mrs. Lisa Owens, please stand. Where is that? Okay, thank you so much for this one. And on the last one is the General Building Maintenance Company. It's a GBM. It's Joe Wilson and Tammy Scott and the Lori Bell. Please stand. And let's give them a big round of applause. They are the ones who recently this event. Because of that, I could order bigger steak, bigger piece of fish tonight, so we'll enjoy that wonderfully. Thank you so much. Now, truly, you probably figure out, anybody the first timer, probably, so many military guys here. I tell you what, there's no relationship of the two countries without military. From the beginning until today. Korean War veterans saved my life and 50 million others. That's pretty much a fact. And then Korean War veterans are here, 20 of them. So please stand. Korean War veterans, please stand and take our bow. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I also want to thank them for the chocolate, the Hershey bars they gave me when I was young. The GIs passed through and then they threw at me chewing gums and Hershey bars, and I really enjoy that. Another military group. I would like to invite all the militaries from the Georgia National Guard and from Fort Benning. You know what? General Donald is such a wonderful, we never met, but we talk over the phone, and then, email exchange only a few weeks ago. And then, here we go, we're one table full. They brought from, you may not know, the General Donahue, Patrick Donahue is the commanding general for Fort Benning, entire the Columbus, Georgia, the base there. And then most of the infantry, Korean officers, we met one Korean officer today, but the Korean military officers are always trained, infantry always come in as trained at the Fort Benning. So I'd like to have all the National Guard, guests from the National Guard and Fort Benning, please stand. Take a bow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming out and making it wonderful. Good to have you. I'm sorry to put you in the back there, but don't blame me because there's a guy back there, the volunteer, they did it all. Thank you so much, appreciate it. They're the reason we could have a laugh and party, eat a nice meal, and have a good night's sleep. Without these guys, we would have to stay awake and watch ourselves. So this is such a heartfelt thankful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very, very much. Okay. Now I want to introduce the cadets from Youth Challenge Academy. Where are they? I don't see them. Here, there you go. They are from Fort Gordon, Augusta, Georgia, and we have an issue. We're going to have a nice party, so I'm not going to talk about too much of a negative thing. But this is reality. We have over 1 million young people, the high school kids, dropping out every year. General Carden, under National Guard, they train high school dropouts. We have 3 different camps, and then they are doing a great job, and I appreciate it so much for that. What Youth Challenge is actually doing, it's just wonderful. And then they came here from all the way from Augusta to have a present colors today. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you. I got to put the right order here for the group. Here I have the group of Korean American Association of Greater Atlanta. We have Korean American community leaders here, and Korean media, and Asian media, and Korean American Federation of Korean American Associations of Southeast United States. Mr. John Choi and Simon Lee are here. So please, all the community leaders to stand and take part. Thank you for your leadership. Finally, but not least, is Mr. Dae Shin here? Mr. Dae Shin. Oh, there you go. I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed with Mr. Shin, Dr. Shin. He makes the ammunition. He is a defense contractor. He's from Florida, but he is a renowned throughout the world. A good friend of Ambassador Andy Young. He makes all of us proud, and particularly the Korean Americans. If you let me, I want to read just a short bio of it. Dr. Dae Shin is an engineer, philanthropist, global Christian speaker, and a leading expert on North and South Korean relationship. In 1979, he founded and was the CEO of DSE Incorporated, a leading manufacturer of a 40 millimeter family of ammunition and the bunker buster fuse. Ooh. And for the U.S. Department of Defense. Thank you so much. Not only soldiers, but he is the man who is making ammunition. So thank you so much for your good job and coming with us. Now, the word. Tonight is a New American Hero Award. New American means, once again, is an immigrant. Immigrants come here, we carry with the perception of they are not patriot. They are not loyal to this country. But that's a wrong perception. We want to change. We don't want to change. We want to let every American to know we are not foreigners, we are not outsiders, but we are an integral part of this great country, and make sure we should be counted as one of those loyal and patriotic Americans. That's what it is. We could pick 10 or 20, 30 awards, but we are short of a budget. So we only pick one each year. And then we have is there Henry here? Henry Cho? There you go, there you go. Now, Henry Cho, Henry Cho was selected 3 years ago, actually, 2.5 years ago, at 2020 recipient. However, we had to cancel the event last minute because the pandemic is starting. So tonight we're going to give the double that present the award for 2020 and 2022. We can skip the 2021, and then that's why we have 2 awardees tonight. And then Mr. Kim Baek-yu, Mr. Kim Baek-yu is such a selfless the volunteer and leader, community leader in Korean American community. So we get the opportunity to present him and recognize his service is such a wonderful. Thank you so much. I took too much time. I apologize. Thank you.
Thanks, Sonny, for all those kind words for everyone in the room. Sonny asked me to, and I'm honored to announce the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award. Mr. Baku Kim runs a successful grocery in Gwinnett County. I think the reason that Sonny asked me to do this is because our family's been in business in Gwinnett County for the last 100+ years. And everything that, so I know that Korean community and Gwinnett County. I'd like to thank Mr. Kim for his leadership and his support of Gwinnett County. He's the community center, the American Korean Community Center, is something that he purchased for this community in a way of support. So I would like to thank him. At that, I think we all want to come up. Mr. Blake, Frank, if you want to come up, and Sonny, and Mr. Kim, all come up.
Good evening.
many distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. It is a great privilege for me to be invited and receive the Lifetime Achievement Award this evening. The American-Korean Friendship was founded as a non-political civic organization in 1996 to celebrate and strengthen the unique relationship between the people of the two nations, those of United States and the Republic of Korea. Over the many years, AKFS recognized those Korean Americans who have made valuable contributions to both nations. Past awardees include medical doctors, war heroes, Olympic medalists, district attorney, entrepreneur. Compared to their achievements, I am an ordinary citizen, and my contribution to both nations are insignificant, and I am very humbled to be even counted among them. Yet I am sincerely grateful for your recognition of my service to the nations, and indeed it is with a sense of great honor that I receive this award this evening. Thank you.
Because, even though it's not on the program, Sonny Park will be 80 years old in a couple of weeks, and I wanted to take a moment to recognize him. I think I'll start by talking about baseball. I'm going to talk about, Sonny has hundreds of best friends, right? I mean, literally hundreds of best friends. One of his best friends is my 12-year-old son. And my son Andrew, he loves baseball. Every summer, he's put on a new team though, and that team has to gel together. One thing I've noticed is that on the successful teams, there's always one kid who encourages the other kids. There's a strikeout or an error, picks them up, lifts them up. And that kid doesn't consider himself a leader, right? He's too busy in the weeds doing things for other people. When the game is tight, everyone listens to that kid, follows that kid. And to me, that's a picture of leadership and friendship, and a picture of Sonny. Every single time you guys all talk to Sonny, every time we talk to him, he's sharing some kind of incredible thing that he's doing for other people, right? And he's so excited about it. Yesterday he was telling me, you might know about this, there's a wall of remembrance that they're gonna do in DC in a month to honor the Korean War veterans. And he was telling me how he's putting together 8,000 individual care packages with hand sanitizer and fans and waters so it wouldn't be too hot. Right? He's in the weeds, he's doing it. And I wish I could go around the room, but Sonny took all my time. I wish I could go around the room and ask you all to share some of the acts of kindness that Sonny has done that most people don't know about, but we would be here a very long time. There are countless such acts I'm going to mention because I need to. He arranged for hundreds of thousands of pepper sprays to be given free to Korean women following the Korean spa shootings. He started a foundation, If Sonny Can, to inspire young people who dropped out of college, and many of whom are in the Georgia Youth Challenge. He never says no to any legitimate charity that asks for a donation. So if you have a legitimate charity, he's at table 4. And he will not say no. He literally will not say no. Frank as well, actually. But why does he do these things? Because he is a really humble person. He's a truly grateful person. Because he's never met anyone who's not a friend. He always tries his very best to help his friends. So Sonny, thank you for your heart, your service, your inspiration, your friendship, for the countless lives you've improved and inspired, all those in the future you will encourage and lift up. And can you please come on stage? We can recognize and celebrate your birthday. I'm not a very good singer, but I'll try. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.